Hi there, I'm Drew Badger, the world's first and #1 English fluency guide, and it is a pleasure to welcome you to, well, we're going to do something very interesting in this video, and this is solve another problem that learners have, and this is, why do I always forget my words when I'm speaking? Now, this is kind of two problems together. The first one is maybe it's like a confidence issue, where like you know the words, but then you're in a conversation and you feel nervous and then you forget. Kind of like if you're giving a speech. Maybe you practice that speech 100 times, you know all the words, but you get what people call stage fright. So stage fright means, okay, now I'm here, everybody is looking at me, and oh no, I feel really nervous about that. So I want to communicate with people, but I can't really say anything. So that's one problem. The other problem is if you didn't really learn the words well in the first place. So initially, if maybe you're reading a textbook, you have a whole bunch of vocabulary words and phrases in there, and you're trying to remember those things, but like when you get into a conversation, you actually just can't remember them. So it's kind of two problems that people have, and I'll talk about like a few ways to do that. The first part of this is focus on less. And really that's the secret to developing fluency, whether you know 10 words or 1,000 words. Like if you can't use the words you know confidently and automatically, then like you're not going to be able to speak at all. It doesn't matter, you know, anything else about your fluency. So you have to have a vocabulary of some amount of words, but you have to know how to use these automatically and fluently. So don't focus on trying to have a large vocabulary unless you can learn it and master it all. So always begin, it's kind of this cycle of starting with a small vocabulary, reviewing it over and over again, practicing it in different ways until you can use it automatically, and then begin adding more words and phrases to that. The second part of this is in order to grow that vocabulary to become or to go deeper with the information that you're learning. So in my case, I came to Japan to learn about Japanese gardening. So that's why I'm here. Even though I don't get to do much gardening right now, it's like a skill I've been following and learning about for many years. And really, it's really why I came to Japan in the first place. So I did not come to Japan to teach English, but I couldn't get a visa to do the gardening I wanted to do. So I got a teaching visa instead. But actually, I really enjoy teaching. It's a lot of fun to do it. But gardening is also like a passion of mine. So I let that passion develop my vocabulary because I'm using the connection idea of taking things like gardening or some kind of basic words about that, but deepening my understanding of that. So I know names for garden tools in Japanese that I don't know in English, or even some things that we just don't use or that I'm not aware of in English. So I've never worked as a professional gardener in America, but I have in Japan. So when I'm working with that, like I can talk about I know words for different kinds of moss. Crazy, like little green moss. Like I know different varieties of moss in Japanese. And you might think like, okay, who cares about different varieties of moss or whatever? But what's happening is that as I'm deepening my vocabulary about a particular thing, I'm learning how to use all those things, not just the words, but with the grammar as well. So I begin making more complex sentences, and I'm developing my fluency with that limited vocabulary. And as I learn more words, as I go deeper with that thing, I'm already interested in it, so I'm taking my passion and using that to drive my fluency and the increase of my skills and also the increase of my vocabulary. So most things you can find a connection between, you know, one thing, like I can find a connection between two words, like, you know, something in Japanese and something else. But again, I'm focusing on a limited amount of things and then letting my interest in that grow it naturally. So as I want to learn more, oh, that's a really interesting thing. Like I take an idea like philosophy. Philosophy is a really big idea, and you could go like to a particular kind of philosophy, then a particular writer in that kind of philosophy, and then it goes like deeper and deeper and deeper until you can learn all these different things, and so you let your vocabulary grow as a result of your desire to improve that thing. And once you do that, you can start adding more words and other things because it becomes a lot easier to pick up new words. This phrasal verb to pick up means you're kind of understanding things naturally. So as you're in conversations, you develop your fluency in speaking confidence so you can express yourself automatically. So if you are in a situation where you're trying to speak in a conversation, but you can't because I can't remember what I want to say, or I forget my words when I speak, I feel stuck. All of these things are really from those two problems. Either you have a problem with the actual memory of it, or you're just feeling kind of scared and you just forget the words. So to solve both of these problems, use these two steps I'm giving you. Focus on a limited thing and then let your passion grow that for you. So you can use your passion, whatever that is. It doesn't matter if you like cars or animals or, whatever. It doesn't matter what that thing is, but that's what should be letting you improve your English. So don't watch a lot of, YouTube videos about learning English, about some random thing, here are, some idioms about whatever. It's useful to learn that stuff, but it's most important for you to find something that a native speaker is making or that you can communicate with a native speaker, and then use that to drive your interest. So I came to Japan to learn that, and learning that from people is much more powerful than me trying to just learn some random things like that. So if you're interested in it, it becomes easier and it drives your passion, your fluency, your speaking confidence, so you destroy those problems and can communicate automatically. Well, I'll leave it there for this video. If you have enjoyed it, do click that like button and do share this with a bunch of people. Doesn't matter, share it wherever. Share it on LinkedIn. Share it with somebody personal. I want you to find somebody in your town or whatever and say, hey, I'm learning English with this guy Drew online. You should watch some of his videos and see if he's helpful for you also. Anyway, so do that. And if you'd like to learn more about how to improve all of your speaking skills, whether it's your confidence or your vocabulary or grammar, anything else, click on the link in this video to take our free English fluency quiz. And I will see you at EnglishAnyone.com to help you out with that. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Hey, you should try saying bye-bye more. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.